could be a big factor today. We'll get to that in just a minute, but we are back here with Adam Schefter. Obviously, there's a lot of questions. We were just saying, who knows if Mike Vrabel is going to be the coach of the Titans next year. There's a lot of things that will come to light tomorrow, but we've already been talking about this for weeks now, and that's the future of Bill Belichick. So what do we know at this point? What will take place after the Jets game today?
Well, I think there are two significant questions. Well, more than that, but two immediate significant questions. Number one, what do Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick decide to do about their future? And I think the feeling right now would be that the two sides will go their own ways. That seems to be the prevailing feeling around the league going into the meeting, that Bill Belichick today could very well be coaching his final game as the Patriots head coach, which is a historic event considering he's been there 24 years, 6 Super Bowl titles. That seems to be the way it's trending prior to any meeting. Now, let's see what happens. The other thing is, if it is indeed the end for them, when they meet, which could happen as early as tomorrow, how does that conversation go? Does Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, did they just decide to mutually split, where he's allowed to then go get another job, which he wants to coach? That's what he
does. Course, because he's just 14 behind Don Shula, by the way, for the most all-time victories. It's part of the equation.
Or
part of it.
Does Robert Kraft say, you have a year left on your contract, and now I want compensation? What is the direction that Robert Kraft decides to choose if, in fact,
you mean you're talking about trading?
Correct.
Bill Belichick.
Well, you can't trade him per se, but you can ask for compensation from other teams.
Right.
So does he decide to, number one, let him go?
Sure.
Does he let him go and just let him go? Does he ask for compensation for another team? There's a lot of ways. Like, it's not like you're just going to get, well, maybe we will get immediate clarity, but there are layers to this that are beyond just a simple meeting and whether or not he's back. How does that play out becomes a fascinating question here, if that is the direction that both men go. Now, maybe they get together and they figure out a way to make this work and stay together. That doesn't seem to be the opinion of most people around the league.
Right.
But there's a lot of history, a lot of tradition here. Let's see what they decide. But I think we all could agree that there's a very good chance that this could be the final game that Bill Belichick coaches today for the New England Patriots. The two men then meet, and the question is, how does that play out?
How does it happen?
And how does Bill Belichick go to the next team? Is he allowed to just go, or do the Patriots help influence that?
And maybe it depends on where he goes, what conference and stuff. I mean, that's very, very, very interesting.
A lot of questions.
To be continued. Adam, we will see you on Countdown at the top. This is
Hannah, we have some ground to cover in the coming days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in Michigan. Okay.
No, I'm not even talking about this. I'm coaches. Forget about
I thought you wanted to put your shoes on Michigan. As we have just discussed, Bill Belichick, wow, this could be the end of an absolutely historic run in New England. 6 Super Bowl titles, 9 AFC championships. Pats just 4-12 this season. Belichick 29-37. In the last 4 years since Tom Brady left the team. Somebody who wouldn't miss him, that would be the Jets. Belichick is 39-12 against them since he left their head coaching gig back in the day. But that's ancient history, as Patriots reporter Mike Reese is braving the weather to file this report in New England today. And we just heard Schefter say that a meeting is expected to happen soon between Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, that a lot has to be decided should they part ways about exactly how that is going to happen. But as they say, Mike, there's always a chance. What would it take for Bill Belichick to return to New England?
Hannah, good morning. How about this setting in Foxborough? We've got the snow, the potential historic day, and here's my understanding of what would need to happen based on conversations with people around it. It would start with this, the assumption that Bill Belichick wants to be back. And then at that point, it would be how he explains the way things have fallen off track for the Patriots, his role in it, and his vision on what he sees as the way to get back on track. As we've seen with Belichick, when he talks football, he can be persuasive. When he gives solutions, he can be persuasive. And then you have Robert Kraft on the other side. He's talked, Hannah, about how loyalty and continuity is important to him. He mentions big decisions in his life He likes to measure 9 times and cut once. Everyone knows he has extreme disappointment about this season, and there's a belief with some people with this team that he's considered and ready to move on. But here's what I would say. From people that I talk to, the way Kraft and Belichick come together in that final meeting, that will be the final measurement before Kraft cuts one way or the other.
Yeah, Belichick's also their de facto general manager. So there's that piece of the puzzle. The Patriots have the 3rd draft pick overall right now. If they lose today and somehow the Commanders beat the Cowboys, they're going to jump up to number 2. This is an absolutely critical draft for them and a critical time in the history of the Patriots. Mike Reese with the latest from Gillette. Thanks.
Hannah, let's bring in Damien Woody, who played for Bill Belichick for 4 seasons with the Patriots. Damien, how do you see the future of your former head coach playing out after today?
Yeah, it's just a feeling that, this might be the end of the Patriots dynasty as we well know. Coach Bill has been with the Patriots 24 years, and I just feel like this will be the perfect time for the New England Patriots to kind of hit a reset. They're going to be picking very high in the draft, as you guys have discussed. And it just, in my opinion, it just feels like both sides are ready to reset. Shouldn't take anything away from what they've accomplished, 6 Super Bowls in 24 years. Just, I don't think something that we'll probably ever see again. But it just feels like it's time for the New England Patriots and Coach Belichick to part ways.
Okay, we will see if that happens. Damien Woody, we appreciate you joining us here on SportsCenter this morning, talking about your former head coach. Thank you, brother.
Well, Tom Brady's other former team, the Bucs, they try again to clinch the NFC South title today in Carolina. Last week's attempt to win the division, that just went south for Tampa Bay. They were beaten by the Saints at home, 23-13, a game in which they trailed 20-0 in the 4th quarter before scoring twice in the final 8 minutes. So really the final score was closer than the game actually felt. And Baker Mayfield dealing with a rib injury this week. So listen, now this is pretty clear cut for the Bucs today. They win the NFC South title if they beat the Panthers in Carolina. However, should they lose in an upset, they are out of the playoffs altogether. And the winner of the Falcons-Saints game in New Orleans would be the division champion and the number 4 seed in the NFC. It's crazy to think the Falcons actually have a path towards a division championship,
right.
But here we are, which speaks volumes about this division. A Bucs reporter, Jenna Lane, is with us. So the Bucs are coming off a terrible game, Jenna. They had 4 turnovers, 2 picks by Mayfield, 2 fumbles. They're 4-point favorites today. How did they put that blown opportunity of last week behind them and take care of business?
Yeah, Hannah, this one is for all the marbles. That's how left tackle Tristan Wirfs put it to me. But truth be told, they've had to have that attitude for the last 5 weeks, 4 of those games in which they won. So this is a very comfortable position for them to be here, having their backs against the wall. But going back to last week, I talked to a number of guys in the locker room, a number of coaches, and there were things like lacking in attention to detail on defense. Also, they felt like their timing was disrupted a bit on offense. But the biggest thing I heard was that they just came out flat. And so I asked inside linebacker Devin White, how do you create energy on days in which you simply don't have it? And he said, we've got to be extra. He said, we've got to celebrate the little plays just like we celebrate the big plays. So whether it is a routine tackle or whether it's a key 3rd down stop or a sack or a long reception by Mike Evans, he said, we have got to celebrate it all. And he said that guys really feed off of that. It creates an infectious energy for everybody.
Listen, it's been a great story with Baker Mayfield there. He could also earn $1 million bonus if the Bucs make the postseason. And Todd Bowles says he's a full go, but you see that rib